You now tune into another episode of Way to Gam Minute podcast. I am Gam, and of course, I got my sidekick, my co-host.
Miss Go Getter.
And tonight, y'all, we're going to be talking about family or nah. I think we're going to have a good time with this episode. What you think, Miss Go Getter?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
That's good. So before we get started, we need you guys to share this episode. Soon as you get on, share and then come back and tune in with us. So Miss Go Getter, tell me what you think about family.
Um, what I think about family, I don't really, I don't really think much about it. Like I never really sat and thought about it.
What? Okay, so what does family mean to you?
Family just mean a group of people that's connected by blood,
Gotcha.
and that you would expect to have some type of connection or special love for each other. Pretty much.
Mm, okay. So and that's it, huh?
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, what does family mean to you?
I think I think the same. I think it's just dealing with blood and then relations. I think yeah, that's what it is. You know, whether put it this way, whether regardless of whatever our definition of family is, I just
Mhm.
think that family isn't the same anymore. Like
No.
the more I
Mm-mm.
think about it, like growing up, and I don't know if you experienced this or not, right? When you were growing up, did you take baths with your cousins and all of them, like sleep in the
Yeah.
same bed and stuff like that?
Yeah, we did. We did. Threw all of us in the tub at one time. And then my grandma would wash this one, wash that one, wash that one. Yeah. We all sat in the same dirty water.
And it's
Yeah.
so crazy that we all did that, right? But like now I don't even know now if the parents actually do that. Like okay,
No,
you
I
have
don't
your
think so.
grandkids. When your grandkids were smaller, when they came over, did you put them in the sink or in the tub together?
Mm-mm.
Nah, he didn't.
No. Um, no, no, I didn't.
Mm. But
Mm-mm.
now I don't see the younger generation doing that now anyway either.
Mm-mm. That's not something that's done because one, I think it's not done because usually everybody wants something special or their child is so special. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
no, I'm not doing that with my kid, or no, it's that time where everybody is. I'm not doing that with my kid. It was done with you, but you can't do that with your kids. So, I don't. I don't think that's even done. Cause even when I think about well, no, I have boys, so my boys don't actually have each other kids. No, that's just not a thing that's
Okay.
done.
So now let me ask you this. Okay, now what do you think you hear people say, and especially now like on social media, you always hear people say that, family isn't don't have to be blood. Like how do you feel about that, if anything?
Family don't have to be blood though. It's not really. I don't think blood actually fully make it family. Okay, so the definition for family is, because you're connected by blood, you come from the same family tree.
Mhm.
But I think at this point, most people consider a lot of their friends family, especially because it doesn't say you have to have a connection, you have to have a full bond with your family, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And sometimes you don't have that bond or that connection with like your cousins, or then you have some people that don't even have that bond with their siblings.
Yeah.
So therefore they make their own family because of their connection and relationship with their friends.
Right.
So I think family also has something to do with the connection, the bond, and or the blood. But you can have friends that you have a bond with and you have a love for that's even more than
Closer
what
than
your yeah,
closer than
than
your
your yeah,
than your
than your
family.
actual family.
Now, Now, I know people. I'm gonna put this disclaimer out there quick because I know you're gonna say Miss Go Getter. You always gotta give a
You always
disclaimer,
giving a disclaimer.
but
It's
I'm
like
giving one is because I don't, like whenever you talk about something,
mhm.
people seem to think that it's about you per se. This has nothing to do with my
It might
family
not have
at all.
nothing to do with your family, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure some of the experiences or some of the things that you're going to say you get that from
Oh,
your
absolutely.
family. So
Very
no,
much so.
I personally don't think a disclaimer is actually needed because if I'm talking and I'm speaking about my family, unless you want to jump out my family right quick,
Right.
then it could or it might apply. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually talking about a particular person, or you could,
Right, absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's go get
And
a
then with you having such a large family, it's like a trillion of y'all.
hold on.
You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
go get a don't try to come for us.
I'm not coming for you. I'm just saying facts. It's like a trillion of y'all.
Yeah, it is.
So it could be any trillion that might think you're talking about them. And I'm pretty sure that it could be one, two, three, or all trillion. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
But anyway, so how is your relationship? Okay, let me say this. How was your relationship then with like your cousins versus now?
What you mean, like years ago? Like
Yeah,
coming
like
up?
then meaning when you was a kid. So how was
Um,
your relationships? Is it the same? Is it different? Did y'all outgrow each other? Did y'all go separate ways? Do
right.
y'all still have the same bond?
I would say that I mean it depends on the relationship. It depends on the person. Some
Mhm.
relationships have developed, like
Mhm.
some have blossomed more than we were when we were younger, and
Right.
then of course some of them have we've kind of outgrown each other, or we just don't really rock. We're family, but we just really don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and for whatever reason. But overall, I think that the family dynamics, far as us is concerned, it has changed a lot.
Mhm.
And from when we were growing up, because I grew up family oriented, right?
Mhm.
And I still am, what I'm saying, for the most part. But
What do you consider family oriented?
meaning family is everything.
Mhm.
We did a lot of things together. Everything was family, and then of course, as their friends or the family, whatever. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. Was like, even if I think back, like, um, normally your first friends are your siblings and your
Right,
cousins.
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Growing up, but now it has changed. So to answer your question, it just depends on the person. But some have developed and some have, like, dwindled away.
What depends on the person?
Meaning,
Your connection?
yeah, our relationship,
Well, yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
then and now.
Well, yeah, of course, that's going to depend on you and that person. But for the most part, do you say like a lot of the ones you was close to as a child or as a youngin or whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
do you still pretty much have that same relationship or some type of relationship with them or no?
Um, Again, it just depends on the person. But overall, I think overall, honestly, I think some relationships are not. I mean, it's none.
Okay.
It's just that we're connected by blood.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that I don't love them. Doesn't mean that it's just for whatever reason we just not. We don't have a friendship outside of our relationship. I mean, as
Mhm.
our relation. Put it that way.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it is. So I know when we were talking the other day and you asked me and you said, when you have a large family, do you think that what you were saying, like, do you think your voice could be lost, or um
Oh, do you think with your experience, do you think within a large family your voice could easily get lost? You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Because if you have a large family, one, you could, basically be overlooked,
mhm,
depending on if you the quiet one, or if you the bad one, or you the one that demands all the attention, or if you the bossy one. You know what I'm saying? Your voice could easily be, pushed to the side
right.
because focus on others.
um I would say, honestly, I would say that um I can see it being both. I can see,
Mhm.
like, your voice being lost in a large family, because there's so many people and there's so many opinions and everybody,
Right.
but then I could see,
So
but
many different personalities.
yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. I think for me though, my voice wasn't lost. I think I've gained a voice, honestly.
So when you was younger, or when all you and your cousins or whatever and your siblings were all around,
Mhm.
you saying that your voice wasn't lost, so you was able to state your point within the group?
I don't know about that.
Oh, so then your voice
No,
might have
what
been
what I'm
lost,
what
is
I'm
what I'm
saying
saying.
is I don't well, the more I think about it, I don't really know, Miss Go Get. I really can't answer that question because I can't think back to I just know this. When I was coming up,
Mhm.
the way I came up, you know, the children wasn't in the room. Like we used to sneak and hear things. Like we couldn't sit at the
Right.
table
Oh
while they
no.
were talking. So if
No.
we were around my immediate cousins or whatever, then yeah, I've always stated my opinion. Then
Well,
yeah,
that's what I'm talking
yeah.
about when I'm talking about your voice being not heard. Of course, your voice isn't going to be heard when it comes to the adults,
Mhm.
because back then it was a thing of, oh, you need to get out of here, grown folks in here talking. So
Right.
you're not going to sit in there with grown folks talking. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And it was also a thing of, you should be seen but not heard. Now, kids now, they don't even know what you're talking about when you say that.
Yeah,
They be looking at you like, "What? Is that a TikTok challenge?" Like, they trying to figure out what you talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because kids be sitting right there in the room with the grown folks. They had a whole conversation. They can be in there smoking a
Yeah,
blunt,
yeah.
drinking,
And then
everything,
and then you
and
know
they
what?
sitting right there, and then you can tell when that kid been around people that been talking about you,
Mhm.
because when they get around you, they act a little different because they don't
That's
know how
true.
to
That's
act, and they
true.
know they just heard their
Mom
mama or
and
their
daddy.
auntie or whoever
Mhm.
just. So now they don't know, you know what I'm saying, what to say, what to think. They don't know if
And
you
then
mad.
too, you gotta realize like a lot when the kids sit around like that, they sit around and they go back and tell. And
Right.
then instead of you getting mad at yourself for, what I'm saying stuff around a kid,
You
you
get
get
mad at
mad
a
at the
kid
kid and
for
want to
going.
beat the kid. Like, hold on, that don't make sense. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, okay, now let me ask you this. So how would you handle conflict in your family? Because I think a lot of times people handle conflict. I mean, I guess it depends on the person. So
Within the family?
yeah.
Um, Me personally, I would handle it pretty much the same way I would handle any other conflict though. Because at the end of the day, only thing it is that you're saying, "Oh, this is my cousin," or "This is my aunt," or "This is my, sibling," or whatever the case may be. However they're related to you,
Mm-hmm.
you're just putting a different title on it versus, "Oh, this is my homegirl, this is my friend." But if a conflict is a conflict, you know what I'm saying? So you would handle it. I don't think it should have. I mean, you can give it a little teeny bit of special care by announcing, "Hey, this is my cousin," or, "Hey, I know we family, but blah 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 blah." But you're
Mm-hmm.
still going to say the same thing, or you're still going to have the same feelings. If not, your feelings might be hurt even more because of the fact that the person is your family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You might feel, versus if someone on the street says something or whatever and you find out about it, you might be like, "Oh, okay, whatever." On the first instinct, it might be,
I don't know.
forget
I,
them.
I just think when it comes to family, I think you should handle them with a little more care. Like
Like, care, like how?
meaning
Tiptoe
like
around it or do
no,
jump ropes?
I'm not
Like, how
saying
to care how?
I'm not saying tiptoe around, neither am I saying do a jump ropes. What I'm saying is I just feel like the respect level should be different from a friend. You know what I'm saying? But you have
Right.
some people who treat their family just like somebody across the street who they don't
No,
like.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. No, I'm not saying like that
Oh,
though. I
okay.
don't think
Okay.
that they should be like going. That's why I said you might get them a little bit more. Um, you might get them a little bit more. I ain't gonna say care, but a little bit more respect
Hmm.
by putting the hand like, "Hey, we cousins." That's what I'm saying. Like, you can say, "Hey, we cousins," and da da da. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you have some cousins that's gonna treat you just like that anyway. And then especially if they out there talking about you or dogging you out anyway, then they already showed they don't really have much respect for you. So while you giving them respect, they dogging you out. Don't you gotta, give respect when you get respect? Or whatever they say about respect.
Yeah, give respect to get respect.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much same
So
thing.
if they out there, yeah, right. So if they out
Yeah.
there running you down in the street, you gonna go out there and be like, "Oh, cousin Gam, can I talk to you? We cousins, and you out here running me down." Then they be like, "Oh, F you." What you gonna do
See now,
then?
yeah, see now, something like that.
Because
Then
you
I would
have
have
some
to,
family members that gonna be like that.
yeah, That's absolutely true. Now, when it comes to something like that, then yeah, I don't see me being mild mannered with that. I would have to, because I'm trying to extend the olive branch,
Mm-mm.
and then you cutting a monkey
Child,
food. Oh no,
if
that
you
ain't gonna
try to
happen.
extend that olive branch and they're not accepting that and they cut the monkey foot, baby, you drop that olive branch right there, right then and there. Cause now you know what? Forget that olive branch.
True. Now, keep it right there. Now, what do you now? How do you know when it's time to just let it go, whether you family or not? When you just like, you know what, I done tried several times and it's just not, it just is what it is.
Okay, so you said when do you know when to? You said when do you know when to let go?
Yeah.
And you didn't try it several times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is that the reason? Okay, so is the reason you tried several times is because they're family?
Right.
So how many? I guess the question would be how many times would you try because they're family before you question yourself when to let it go? Because I would say, I would probably let it go after the first time. I mean, that's
Okay.
me. I'm not in the business of trying to make nobody deal with me, trying to make nobody talk to me or be in nobody's space.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not me because you got to think about it. Like within the family, everybody has different attitudes, personality, and their characteristics are different,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Including you because
Okay.
you're part of that family. So you're going to be different too. Me, I know who I am and what I'm will and what not do and what I'm willing to do. And trying to make somebody be in my space or allow me in their space is not what I'm willing to do.
Right.
So to me, at that point, that don't really matter. The only reason I would probably say something is because you might be family. But that's just going to be a one-shot deal. It's not going to be no 5, 6, 7 times. And then I'm gonna go back with an olive branch too, and then I'm gonna come back with a whole tree trunk. I'm not doing none of that. Mm-mm. Because at that point, it's like,
It's like
okay,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay. Who is that? Oh, that's yeah, that's such and such cousin. Because I'm quick to do that. I'll tell everybody that that's my other cousin.
Instead of your cousin, so you
I
would
do that, yeah.
disown them. Like, no, I ain't doing
I
that.
ain't saying this on 'em, I just don't acknowledge stuff.
You
Some stuff
acknowledge.
I just
Okay.
don't acknowledge. Like that's such and such cousin. Yeah, because see, you acknowledge everybody. Like, good God, girl, like they're your cousin from when? From
Yeah.
back where?
Look, my cousins are my cousins. I don't
Right.
care if they
So
65th,
you be calling
99th.
everybody your cousin. I be like, I know they can't be your cousin too. Everybody
Oh
can't
no,
be your cousin.
no. Now, one
There
thing
gotta be
I'm not
some
gonna
double
do.
up in here. Something doubling up
Oh,
because ain't no way in the world.
yeah, trust me, it probably is some doubling up. But I'm not gonna call you my cousin if you're not my cousin. Now I'll say you my family. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But I won't claim you as my cousin if you're not my cousin.
Now, do you really know for sure, if cousin number 6 is really your cousin?
Put it this way, I don't care what generation they are. If
Yeah.
you're my cousin, you're my cousin. And that's just it.
So you saying
I
you
don't have
keep
to
up with
say,
all
no,
that?
hold on. I don't have to say, hey, cousin, go get my sixth cousin. No, it's
Oh, but I
hey
had
cousin.
wait a minute. Let me you keep it right there now. Because I have heard you say, "Oh, this such this is my first cousin."
Oh,
So you will say that.
I'll
Mhm.
say that because sometimes people don't realize the close kinship that we are.
Mhm.
So just like my cousin, like I'll say Tita. Like a lot of people do know that she's my first cousin, but I'm just saying like people don't know. I'll be like, this is my first cousin. And they be
Yeah.
like, oh my God, for real? I'm like, yeah, we real cousins. Like
Now, why would they think y'all because like
I
what's the
mean,
reason?
because people, I mean, I go back to what
Just
you just said. People be claiming people all day long. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I think you claim some too though. You
No,
already got
you
a
know what?
million,
Let me
a
tell you something, Miss
trillion.
Go Getter.
You already got a trillion. You can't be adding no more.
You are pure hater.
You can't.
See,
You just can't be adding no
no,
more. Like
but what needs to happen is see y'all feel some type of way because
who's
it's
y'all?
probably you and your family because it's probably on like 10 of
I don't
y'all,
think my
right?
family care about that.
Let me see you, your mama.
Like we don't
It's
care about
about
a whole lot of that. Like
it's about 10 of y'all. So y'all trying to adopt some people in
maybe
y'all
not.
family.
No, we're not. Trust me, not.
Oh, trust me, I got a
Uh.
couple that I can swing y'all way that I want to
No,
get
we
rid
don't
of.
want none of 'em. You keep them right over there in the hot mess. Keep them right on over there, stink. We don't want them. Mm-mm, don't want them. Don't need them. None of that. Don't need no confusion.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
you. I get
Cause, cause, baby, cause you know another thing. When you have a large family, it's like there's going to be like a lot of confusion, and I don't know,
you. Hmm.
but I do watch TV and hear about stuff because you can't help but have a lot of confusion. You can't help it because it's too much going on. Then you got too many people that want to be the
Hold
boss.
on, Miss Gogi, stop right there. Somebody said, "Oh my God, my bougie cousin." You already know who that is.
I already know who it is. Hey, bougie cousin.
But go ahead with your question.
Yeah, but you gonna have people in the family that want to run stuff and
Yeah,
that want to act like they control stuff because it's just so much going on. Then you're gonna have this one over here that don't like this cousin, and this one over here. Then you're gonna have people fighting each other like out in the street. That's the part I don't get.
yeah,
When you
me either.
family
Yeah,
and you trying to fight your family. Now, when you kids, and I'm pretty sure most people did it, when you have siblings or cousins and you're kids, you fight each other
mm-hmm.
because you're mad and you don't know how to direct your anger. You don't know how to deal with the frustration or handle the conflict. So you're fighting each other.
Right,
But after you finish fighting, you go right back to doing whatever it was you was doing before you was fighting. You get what I'm saying? You
right.
don't make it a serious thing, and you sure don't get nobody on the outside involved in it.
Involved in, yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't get the concept of being outside the house or being outside your grandma's house trying to fight your cousin or trying to fight your brother or your sister. That's the concept that I don't get. Like,
yeah.
you outside trying to fight your cousin, your sister, your brother, or whoever, and then you allowing other people to get involved.
Hmm.
That's the most ignorant, disrespectful thing ever. But it happens.
So, what was your question again?
I didn't have a question.
Oh, I thought you had the question.
No, that was a whole statement.
Yeah, it was. It was. But
Yeah.
let me piggyback off that statement. What you just said. That's one of the issues. I think whenever you have a disagreement with somebody or you feeling
Mhm.
some type of way with somebody, it should be you and that person. You shouldn't be trying to rally up other family
Right.
to dislike
Like,
to
right.
to jump on that bandwagon.
Mhm.
Because I feel like they own a bandwagon for what they don't know really why you guys aren't talking or why you
Right.
guys are beefing. So I just feel like some people hop on people's train. I call them train jumpers,
Yeah.
and they'll hop on the train because this conductor said, "Oh, we going down Main Street and
Mhm.
we gonna do X, Y, and Z," and
Right.
everybody with it.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like when something like that, it should just be you and that person. You shouldn't involve anybody else with it.
In the family.
In the family,
Yeah.
exactly.
But you're gonna have train jumpers though.
Yeah.
You're gonna have people in the family that's gonna be on this person's side today. And then tomorrow when you say something, they're on your side, or either they are taking the information from the train jumper, I mean, from
Mm-hmm.
this train to that train and all the way around, and they taking stuff back and forth. So you're gonna have that because you're gonna have, just like we just said about different personalities, you're gonna have that one whose voice might be lost. So
Right.
they going along with whoever is strong for that moment or that day or whoever they're around. So if that person that they're around today is strong, that's where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you are expected to have train jumpers, but I do think that it should be noted to that person, like, hey, you can't go back and forth. Like, who? Like, why? For one, why are you even picking sides? So
Mm-hmm.
then they might not consider themselves picking sides. They
Right.
might really just like that person or like the train that that person is, the conductor of, and
Right.
they like where that train is going versus this one over here. Yeah, they might like you too, but you're not really doing anything or going anywhere. You get what I'm saying? They just had that closeness with that person.
Right.
But
So
I don't think they should come back and tell you whatever that person or even participate in a conversation with that
yeah, because
person.
that's Patty right
That's
there. Yeah,
yeah,
that's definitely
that's
Patty.
definitely petty.
Now, how do you feel about jealousy within a family? If you feel anything about it.
Jealousy, well, I think jealousy within the family is going to happen, even if they don't acknowledge it, or they might not really have like a strong jealousy where they're going to voice it or show it,
Hmm.
but it could be silent jealousy. You get what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? When a
No,
silent
elaborate a
jealousy
little
is when
bit.
you feel in a certain kind of way about the person,
Hmm.
but you know that you really shouldn't, but you do. And you don't say nothing to them and you don't want them to know that you feel in a certain kind of way about it. So you keep it cool, but you can tell that there's something going on because the jealousy can be for any reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can be jealous of a person for whatever reason. It can be the dumbest thing. It could
So
be
how would you handle that though?
now me. I don't know how I would handle it because if it's one of those jealous things where I don't know nothing about, like I just said, like a silence jealousy, then I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. But if it's a jealousy that you just flat out don't like me, you making it known you don't like me. I'm your whole family, but you making it known you don't like me. I'm just not going to deal with you. I mean, that's just simple as plain to me. I'm just not gonna deal with you. It's like, okay, well, if you can't tell me why you don't like me, then therefore at this point I'm assuming. But if you tell me that you're jealous, but I don't know if a family member will actually tell you, hey, I'm jealous of you, cousin such and such. But how
Yeah.
would you handle it though?
Look, I'm saying I asked you the question, but I ain't have an answer for it myself. I would say, I would say,
She out here asking questions that she don't have. So you want my answer. So is somebody in your family jealous of you and you want my
no,
answer
absolutely
so you can
not.
go ahead and handle it?
Excuse me,
Girl, I give you an answer so
absolutely
you can go
not.
and handle it, girl.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you don't want to handle it the way
No,
I.
absolutely, they're not jealous of me. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, nobody in your family ain't jealous of
No,
you?
no, absolutely not.
How you know for sure? Because
I
it's
mean,
a whole lot of y'all,
I don't
and I
know
know
for
you ain't
sure.
talked to all y'all.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know for sure. But what I will say is this though: when you have a family, and you know what I'm saying. So I do agree with you when you said like, people can have a silent jealous thing because I don't. I look at jealousy as a thing of um not really like a intensified jealousy. It's like,
Mhm.
oh dang, like she doing it, he doing it.
Yeah.
But I will use that as fuel to figure out how I can do it.
Yeah.
So, but some people, what I'm saying, like jealousy goes to envious and it just be like a lot of different
Yeah,
things.
now
But
it could be that too, but you gotta think about this too. Okay, so if you in the same, this is the way I look at stuff. If you in the same family,
hmm
right, and you was together and you was raised the same way, you get the same, you know how back in the days, your grandma might have certain sayings or your great grandma might have certain sayings, and you be like,
right.
what in the world? Like it's the saying that my mama used to say all the time. And to this day, I still don't understand what it means. And I really don't think it means nothing. But
Oh
she
my
used to
God, she gonna
say,
go off.
yeah, but I don't think it mean nothing. I mean, she probably if I ask her, she probably don't even remember it or know what it mean. But she used to say, I used to say, "Oh, I thought," she be like, "Oh, you thought like the bitty thought wrong." And I was like, "But do the do the bitty thing?" Like I never
Right,
understood,
yeah.
But it used to be a whole lot of sayings like that that I never really understood. Some of them, as I was getting older, it was like, "Oh, that's why." But that's one that I never really figured out why. But if we all in the same family, right, and we all being raised the same way, and if your grandma or your mom or your great grandma, whoever, or your granddad or whoever older in the family told you some things or had you doing some things, and you didn't receive it the way the other family member might have received it, took it and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, when we was younger, my grandma used to have us watching Knox Landing. Man, we were watching Dynasty, Knox Landing, the stories all during the day. But it was one particular person on Knox Landing that I liked, and her name was CG,
hmm
right? And on Knox Landing. And she was like, I don't know, she was like the president of this big company or whatever. Like she was, I used to like, oh my goodness, like she's really doing it. She's in business. She's driving this Porsche. She had this nice house. She was like a little, bitchy or whatever. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna be bitchy and drive a Porsche, and I'm gonna have a business. But that's the way I perceived it,
Right.
what she had going on. So it was
hmm
like, oh, I want to do that. She's making money. She has money. Now, my grandma had all of us watching the same shows.
Right.
So the way my sister or my cousins or whatever might have, but they might have got out the show or perceived her in the show, whatever, wasn't the same for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So in other words, if you a family member and you jealous of another family member because of what they may or may not be doing or how they act or how other people take to them or whatever, then that's something within you that you have an issue with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when a person is jealous of you or feeling a certain kind of way of you, it's really because of the fact of what they're lacking and what they're not doing and you're doing and they don't have the ability to do, or know how to tap into it. You get what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So you really can't handle whether they family or not. You really can't handle that. Like I don't even know how you would handle that unless they actually tell you. And most people do not tell you.
Right. But it's definitely they'll show you in their actions
Right.
though.
In their
So
actions, you'll see it, but then would you walk up and say, "Oh, I see you acting funny. Are you jealous of me?"
no, I
No,
wouldn't
you're
say that.
not
I'd be
gonna
like,
say that either.
no, I'd be like,
So therefore, it
What's
would
going
be
on with you?"
yeah, and they're not gonna say,
A
"Oh,
unspoken thing.
they're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm just jealous of you. That's all." So it'd be an unspoken thing. So you're not gonna really have to handle it because it's not something unless you feel that the energy that they're letting off is just too strong for
Too
you. You know
strong,
what I'm
right?
saying? So you remove yourself.
So what? Okay, what about this? If you grew up in a family and y'all kind of like just what you said, y'all kind of grew up watching the same channels, watching, eating the same foods, she might not, her mom might not have had it, so y'all had to eat together,
Mhm.
whatever the struggle was, right? And now that you're older, it's like it goes back to like some people may feel a little different towards you because you choose to, like you said, you choose to do something different,
Mhm.
right? But feel like they make you feel like you're doing something wrong. Have you ever experienced that?
No. You know, not with the what you say, how many of us is it?
For
4 of us? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's see that you only experience stuff like that when the family is huge, when you got a trillion. So when you have a smaller family, you don't experience stuff like that because it's like,
I think
eh.
no, I
But
think it
no,
doesn't matter the
yeah,
number
no,
though.
it don't. But no, I think it just matter the type of family or the type of people
Mhm.
in that family. And see, in my family, it's not like that though.
Okay, got you, got
So I don't know, and I'm not gonna say you say I have a small family, but the family that I say is small. It seems like it's just small, but I actually have a large family, but I don't deal or know with everyone. I don't have a connection or a bond with everyone. Some people I know and I'm like, oh yeah, they are my cousins or whatever. Oh yeah, they're my cousin. But I don't have a relationship like that
you. Right,
to say,
right.
whatever, whatever. So I haven't really experienced that. What about you?
Um, no.
You haven't experienced
What?
what was your question again? Cause ain't no way you didn't forget
I
and
did.
you said no because
I
I
did.
don't think that's true.
No, I did. I forgot the question. Honestly,
Oh
I forgot the
my God.
question. But I think
So you on here just asking me questions, and I need to be asking you questions because you're the one that probably have the different experiences because you have so many different personalities and characters in your family.
right. That's absolutely true. But what I will
It's like a
say,
little baby home movie thing going on.
not baby home movie. What I will say is this: when you do have a large family, right,
Mhm.
and you have like say, everybody has a matriarch and a patriarch in their
Right.
family, and then when they passed on, like, you know, but before they passed on, you have a foundation, right, and as time go on, people pass away. And it seems like I know, like for my family, it seems like a lot of things that we used to do,
Mhm.
we've gotten away from. It's like it's just non-existent,
Mhm.
right? So
But
then
why
you,
is that though?
why is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's because we've all are adults now and we kind of doing our own thing. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't think nobody set out to just be kind of erase history. But I do think that some of the things that we used to do, we don't do anymore, which I feel like the younger generation under me and under them, they really don't even know who their family are. Like they really don't know
Right.
the core of
And that's
family.
true.
And it's sad, but I
Mhm.
think about like my family, like you have certain members of the family who um they try to run everything. You know what I'm saying? And which
Yeah.
I don't think is fair because I feel like everybody is an adult. Everybody, not forget an adult, everybody's their own person,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So everybody should have a say so on if we're gonna walk down the street with our head backwards.
Right.
It shouldn't be left up to two or three different people. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And then when you choose to disagree, it shouldn't be a thing of, like you should be out because I don't agree with what you
Right.
just said.
So how do you handle something like that though? When you have a person that wants to run everything and then when you disagree with them, you're on the outs as far as with them and then they have other family members that's like in the middle. or that follows this one or follows that one. How do you actually handle that type of situation when they kind of put you on the outs and make you the outcast?
It can go several ways. You can blow up. You know what I'm saying? I just think I think that everything starts with the conversation for me. You know what I'm saying? And I realize some people don't want to have a conversation
Right.
because with conversation sometimes, especially like with me, I'm looking for a resolution. I
Hmm.
mean a solution.
Hmm.
So if you and something just don't make sense, I'm gonna say something about it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if if that's the case, then I'm gonna have a conversation with X, Y, and Z. And if I
Okay.
had to go all the way down the board, all the way down the line, then I'm gonna go all the way down the line, have a conversation with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If we can't all come together and sit down at the kitchen table and have that conversation.
What if they say, I don't want to sit down at kitchen table with you?
Well, damn, okay, you don't got to sit down then.
We can stand up.
We can, I mean, we can stand up, we can sit in your side, we can do however you want to do. Or if you want to, you don't want to do it at all, then that's fine too.
Hmm.
I can accept that, and
Hmm.
I can move on. But for those who want to have that conversation, for those who want to try to find out what's going on and how can we better our family, then that's what we'll do. But I feel like if you don't want to have that conversation, if you don't want to sit down, I feel like that's division, and I feel like that even though things aren't how they used to be, it will never be anything because if you continue to be in the middle and you continue to divide this pie,
Hmm.
that's not healthy at all. And if you're around and you're going along with that, you're just guilty as the conductor, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, maybe they just like that train that conductor is in control of.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely
But
true.
what do you find is the biggest challenge with being in a large family, though?
Um, I think communication. I think communication, and then
Why do you
um
say communication, though? Because that could that fall under losing your voice or someone in the family losing their voice, getting lost?
no, I just think communication because people don't communicate. They don't effectively communicate. And especially like all the way across the board, you only
Mhm.
communicate like prime example, Katria Gam Sutton said it's not non-existent. It's just
What's
certain family members come together. So the same thing with the conversation. You have certain um family members that'll get information, whereas everybody across the board won't get information.
yeah?
So it's about that conversation.
So could it be that the certain family members that get the conversation is because they the only ones that talk to the person that's doing the talking and that's giving them the information, and that person say might not talk to the other million. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? They might only talk to the ones over here who got on the train with them or whatever. So it's just like if you running your train and then you have some with you, you're not going to go and to the other train and give the message. You're going to give it to the ones that's right there with you. So that would make it a thing of certain people get certain invites, certain people get certain updates, certain people, get whatever conversation that was
But
had on that train.
this is the thing. If I were to take your analogy of what you just said, right, and
Mhm.
I know if I don't get along with everybody or I don't conversate with
Uh-huh.
everybody, then I'm gonna grab that spokesperson or that person that everybody's the majority is cool with.
Mhm.
I'm going to go to that person, make sure that person get that information, have that conversation with that person, because that way I know that he or she'll be able to relay what I'm saying to everybody and is extended to everybody. Now, it's a difference in extending everything, extending things to everybody. They're just not saying, "Oh, I'm only tell these four." That's a
So,
total
but
difference.
that spokesperson that get along with everybody. So you saying like, for example, let's say you have a train and let's say Betty has a train, then you're saying that the person in the middle that you was already calling the train hopper is the one that get along with everybody. So you want them to hop the trains and tell the information. But if that information was something negative, that person might tell it. Everybody probably get it then. But if it's something good, then if that person is always riding train A, and then sometimes they'll ride train B. If train B had something to say and they want the people on train A to get it, that person might not even be reliable to get the information back to train A. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Because they
that's
might
absolutely true.
be they might be like, I ain't saying that. Or they might be the one in the family that lost their voice. Because when you have a large family, somebody's gonna be lost. Their voice is gonna be lost. So they
Right.
might be the one that get along with everybody, not because they're just that person. It could be because they're that lost voice person. So they just going with whatever flow is going on, whoever they're with for the moment. So they get along
Mhm.
with everybody. But technically, it ain't that they don't get along. They don't have no voice, so they're not gonna say nothing either way.
Well, then I would have enough sense to know that I wouldn't, if I want something to get out to the
Mhm.
masses in the family, I
Mhm.
wouldn't go to that lost voice person unless I have set and built that person up enough to I know that, hey, she's gonna do, what I need her to do, or he's gonna do what I need him to do. It's a difference. Now, if that
Mhm.
person is just like, pretty much like you said, lost voice,
Mhm.
lost cause, I'm not going to them with nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I'm just about this. If you're hurt, then let's just stop what we're doing.
Yeah.
Figure out why you're hurt. What can we do to assist you? What can we do to make you better? And what can we do to make our family stronger? Point blank, period.
Mhm.
I'm not one of division.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, like, division is chaos. It's just like, it's pettiness. It's just like, it's it's wild. And the world that we're living in, the times that we're living in, if somebody is about division, it's like, I can't I can't get with you.
Mhm.
I can't get with you. And I can't get anybody who gets with you, because it's
Mhm.
like, if you this like me and you, we're friends, right? And if I know that you are a type of person where you're about keeping stuff started,
Mhm.
ain't but so long I'm gonna be around you.
Right.
Because I'm gonna get tired of all the cattiness. I'm gonna get tired of, what I'm saying, the stuff surrounding or whatever. I'm gonna remove myself.
Mhm.
But before I remove myself, I'm gonna have a conversation with you too, though,
Right.
and let you
Right.
know,
Right.
like, what you doing. And you know what I'm saying, yo, it's not cool at all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, I can tell everybody around you, right? Say, hey, you know, Miss Go Getter, she X, Y, and Z. Y'all will see, y'all will see, y'all will see.
Mhm.
And it's like, I'm trying to I'm trying to make them see they just got in the game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make them see what I've experienced my whole life. It don't work that
Yeah.
way either. So it's like, I
Mhm.
gotta step back and be like, okay, cool. When
Yeah,
you see
because
it,
if
you'll
it's
see it.
really a problem, if that person is really flawed that bad, you're gonna see that anyway. Anybody gonna see, you don't have to tell them. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to say, "Oh, you'll see." You don't have to give them that warning. They'll see. Just let them see, and then they might be the same as that person, so it might be cool. Well, they might say, "Oh, I don't, nothing's wrong," because they're the same way or whatever. But you know, that's just the way it is. But you mentioned earlier in reference to like the family's not the same as before, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have like the new generation that's not taking over. I
Right.
guess from when your grandmother, then I guess it would have went down to your mom or your dad or whatever generation, then it went down to your generation, then
Mm-hmm.
y'all would have passed it down.
Right.
So therefore, you saying it stopped at your grandmother generation, and then it didn't go, so it didn't skip two generations. Now everybody's on the third generation,
Man, we probably like on
first,
the
second,
fourth or
third, fourth. That's what, yeah,
we
maybe the
probably like
fourth
fourth
or
or fifth.
fifth
Yeah.
generation.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, none of y'all do the same things like that y'all used to do before.
No.
And and I was thinking about that because I think that's across the board with a lot of families
Mm-hmm.
that you try to do things or you want to do things, but everybody nowadays, when you think about back then, everybody wasn't so busy. Now everybody is so busy and stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Then you
Mm-hmm.
have others that's just doing other stuff or whatever. I just don't want to do it. I
Right.
just don't want to be bothered with if they don't know nothing about it, because if you already on the fourth and it didn't stop at the second, you done missed a whole lot of, you know what I'm saying? You
In
done missed a
between.
whole lot of, so now you on the fourth or fifth generation. They like, what? I didn't do that when I was going on. I ain't doing it to my kids. Or then they be like, I ain't do it. So you done missed a whole lot of the in between. So they don't even know, like your little cousins now that are probably on the fourth or fifth generation or whatever. They wasn't there,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, to experience what your generation experienced as kids. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're not thinking about that now or whatever. And then, back then, I don't even know how this generation would have made it back then anyway, because back then, you know, Your aunts was like your second mom. Your uncles was like
Yeah.
your second dad. So whenever your mom or your dad wasn't, and your grandma was the big mama. So whenever your mama or your dad wasn't around, if you cut up, they would get you. Your mom or dad
Right.
didn't have to get you or be around.
Mhm.
They would take care of it. Try to beat somebody's child now, pop somebody's child now. Man, listen. They gonna go all first of all, the kids probably cuss you out.
Yeah. Mhm.
The kids probably go off on you before their mama or their daddy go off on you. And then by the time they finish doing all that cussing you out, and it's like, you the whole grandma, you can't pop your grandchild. You can't yell at your grandchild. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of, I don't know, it's just a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Like everybody like, no, don't do this to my child. And then you gotta think about it. A lot of them not even getting their child themselves. Their child cut up and then they go buy them something.
Yeah.
It's like your child just finished acting the pure plum food. And you going to buy them what? You going to buy them a
So you
$300,
basically
$500 game
rewarding them
for
for
cutting
acting
up.
up.
And they're
Yeah.
gonna keep cutting up, and then you gonna keep looking stupid. And then the family and everybody gonna keep talking about you because now you looking stupid. Like, yeah, her and her bad ass kids. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them coming over. So then you got the word about that part of the family that don't even want you to come over with your baby kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They like,
But
oh
this,
no,
but this is the thing though. Why do you think they've gotten away from that though? Like because if that's how you grew up. Not saying that that's because it's how you grew up, meaning that was right. But I'm
right,
just saying, common sense wise, that was a little logical. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if mom and dad are working or whatever, your great grandma house, whatever,
Mhm.
she gonna tear you up. They
Yeah, she
switch.
gonna
You
straighten
know what
you,
I'm
but
saying?
that was their job because they are supposed to help you with your kids. Your
Right. That's
kids
right.
supposed to know. So if you missed the class that day when grandma was teaching something about, being respectful, they're gonna remind your kids because obviously you didn't tell your kids, so they're gonna straighten your kids up. But now people don't want you saying nothing to their kids. Like they taking it to heart. They don't want you saying nothing to their kids. And it's like, do you not realize your kid is really being disrespectful?
Right.
Like your kid is really like cutting up. Do
And
you
that's the thing. You'll let them disrespect your family, but you think they're gonna go out there and treat the teacher
and
with
then
some
told say
respect.
you embarrassing me. No, they're gonna treat them the same way because you ain't told them no different.
Hmm.
Like you ain't saying nothing to them. Then you don't want the teachers to say nothing to them. So then when they go out there with them teachers and them teachers say something to them, they're gonna cuss them out too. And then you're gonna follow up behind them and at the pure plum food. And that goes back to that same thing of adults don't have kids around when they talking. So now you up there at the pure plum food in front of the teacher with your kid standing right there
Yeah.
watching you at the pure plum food. So now they gonna look at it like, oh, I can at the pure plum food because my mama went off on Miss such and such. Then they at the pure plum food too. Now
Yeah.
all y'all sitting there looking like fools. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
it's just
sad.
crazy.
It's sad. It's sad, but it's true. Now, what? How do you feel about if you don't get along with with family, right?
Mhm.
And there's certain things going on, and you don't want to go.
You mean certain things going
Like,
on?
say if you got say it's a family reunion,
Okay,
you don't
okay.
want to go to the family reunion because Uncle
That person
Bob
going.
there. It ain't just that person. It could be several people in the family. Like, oh, I don't deal with such and such, so
Mm.
I'm not going to be around them. Or I just feel a certain type of way when I'm around.
When you're around a lot of the family members.
Yeah, that you don't deal with, right?
Well, I mean, I think that's an option if you don't want to go. But I wouldn't say if you want to go, I wouldn't say not go because there's three, four, or five, or even one, whatever family members that you don't deal with. I wouldn't say not go because if it's a big family reunion and you got a million of y'all going, and just because you might not get along with maybe four of them,
Mm-hmm.
then you could head on and go with the other,
Yeah.
the other group.
Yeah.
Because why would you not go because of some? Now, unless those ones that you don't get along with are like the pure plum foods in your family. Now you might say I ain't going because they're gonna add the pure plum food on that trip. You know what I'm saying? You might not
Right.
want to be involved in that. Then I can
Mm-hmm.
see you saying not going. But if that's not the case, there's not gonna be no, no chaos and no mess
No
like that.
fighting and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
then I would say
Physical.
go. Now, if it's an argument, okay, so what? But I wouldn't want to go if they up there doing a little tussling. I would want to go be like, we too old to be out here tussling. I can see all y'all now tussling. And that's a whole reality show.
No, we definitely wouldn't be tussling. But I know, Arnie, I would definitely go, especially if I know that, because at the end of the day, it's not about you or me. You know what I'm saying? So if it's, say it's a family reunion setting, I'm going because
Yeah.
I may go there and see some people that I haven't seen in a long time
Right.
or have never seen before.
Exactly.
So that means that I'm gonna, I'm saying, I'm gonna go because I want to get to know,
Them.
other
Because you can
people.
easily
Yeah,
ignore the ones that you don't deal with.
absolutely.
You don't
And
have to talk to them.
absolutely. And I think that if a person, if you don't go somewhere because a person or people are there that you don't communicate with or that you don't fool with or whatever, I think I'm getting you the upper hand. So I'm not giving you that. Like, no, I'm going and I'm gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
And if I get up under your skin, baby, I just get up under your skin.
That's just
That's
their
just
problem.
that's just it. So let me read this right quick. Um we lack communication. I need to know why you don't get along with so and so. So we need to talk. Okay, gotcha.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that, I mean, it's definitely about communication. But I feel like what Katria Gam Sutton says, I'm gonna I'm going because nobody gonna dictate nothing. I do that at 42 years of age. We all grown. We're not going to be all confrontational either. Just ignore them. I may question it, but realize that I don't have to deal with those particular people. And that's
And
absolutely
that's
true.
true. You don't have to deal with them. You just deal with the ones you talk to and keep it going.
Right. That's absolutely true. Yeah. I just think that everything deserves a conversation. And then it goes back to, for me, respect.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Regardless if we family or not, we should.
Let me ask you this. What? Hold that thought right quick.
Mhm.
You say you think everything deserves a conversation.
Yeah,
Everything, like
it
why?
starts with the conversation, because I
So
feel like if you have a conversation, hopefully from that conversation you'll be able to get a better understanding of why it is what it is.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you don't have that conversation, then how can we move further? How can we move past this? How can we solve this if we don't
Okay.
find
So
out
you saying
what's
if
going
you
on?
so basically you saying if you care about the situation or if you care about what their issue is, then have a conversation. Because if
Mhm.
it's something that don't bother you and you don't care about, I don't really see it about a conversation. Yeah.
I'm just saying, meaning I don't have to be the conversation starter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody can
So
come to me and say, "Well, what's going on? Okay, we want to talk about it. Do you
mhm,
really want to talk about it? We really want to talk about it, then let's
mhm,
talk about it. Now, if you want to beat around the bush, then we can just keep on doing this,
yeah.
till we get 80. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But if you
I
really
guess it
want a
just depends on what
resolution,
it is.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and who wants the conversation now? If they're the ones acting funny or whatever, or acting a certain way, and they say they want a conversation, then yeah, I'll probably listen to the conversation. But if they acting funny and I haven't done nothing to them,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't said nothing to them, they just acting funny or whatever. No, I'm not gonna waste my time on conversation because I look at certain things like people have their own issues. Everybody
Right.
got whatever they got on their mind, whatever they got going on. And if you, that's just like if I'm talking to you, we was cool, but then I started noticing you acting funny or whatever, then that's something you got going on because I haven't done nothing to you, but you acting funny to me for whatever reason. Let's say I just changed up a little something
Mm-hmm.
and you feel a certain kind of way about it, but I'm assuming or wondering because you acting funny to me. I feel like you should have to come to me and say what it is you got going on with me.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, not me having to go to you like, what's going on? You've been acting funny to me. Why are you acting funny to me? No.
Now, Miss Go Get It. Now you try to say it. I wouldn't say it like that, then, because
Why you
that's like
acting
I'm
funny to
begging.
me? I'm not gonna. No. I'm like,
I'm not
oh,
gonna do that.
oh, okay, you acting a little funny. All right, I'm gonna let you get that together. See, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm gonna let you get that together. When you get it together, then
I just think overall
yeah,
families should handle each other with care and respect.
I
You
would
know what
say
I'm saying?
with respect.
A little more than the. You need some water, cuz.
Yeah, my throat itching.
Look, you
But
heard
I
me
would
call you
say,
cuz, right?
right, you call everybody cuz because you sure don't need to add no more cousins to that foundation, baby. Because that foundation about to fall in, honey.
Oh no, one
There's
thing
too
about it,
many
oh, it's
cousins
it's
up
it's
there. It
solid.
can't hold it.
It's solid.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Mm.
somebody said no, Shante, when the boy Where that voice come from? Yeah, she trying to be funny.
Who said that? What voice?
When you say, "Oh no, no, yeah, yeah, yeah."
Oh yeah, cause that sounds gonna be. You want to make it? What's wrong with you?
No, I just think that for real, the all jokes aside, like family is very
Mm-hmm.
important. You know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes they get on our nerves and we may have differences or whatever. But I just feel like family should be like a rubber band. No matter
It should
what,
bounce back, yeah.
right? No matter what differences we have or whatever, we
And they
should.
should be the ones that you call on first, like your first
Mm-hmm.
responders. You know what I'm saying? But if you had that relationship to do so, because a lot of people got their own stuff going on, and then sometimes you have some people that say they can't call on their family for nothing or
Right.
whatever.
Prime example. Katrina Deloach Williams said, if their heart is hard, if their heart is hard and simply don't want to make things right, leave it in the hands of the Lord. Move
Mhm.
forward. My heart will be at peace because I tried.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Now
Right.
I'm there. That's I'm there.
Mhm.
I'm there. Like I know it, this a thing of when you have gotten the blood off of your hands, you know what I'm saying, and you've done all that you can do.
Mhm.
That's just it. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to let the man upstairs handle it.
Yeah.
And sometimes because you're family doesn't mean that you have to have a relationship.
Exactly.
You're just it's just relation. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But it's still for me it goes back to respect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and this is what how I was brought up. I mean, I don't care. But some people just different. Some people just different.
Some people, you gotta think about it. Everybody don't care about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you got to think about that too.
I think you're a messed up individual though. Like
Uh,
if you don't, I'm not saying everybody has the same heart and
yeah, I realize people are people, whether they
absolutely.
connected to you by blood or not. People are people.
You're exactly
So the
right.
same type of people that you walk past every day is going to be a person like that with the same type of attitude or behavior that's going to be in your family. And your
Mhm.
chances are going to be even higher of having stuff like that in your family the larger the family is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The larger the family is, you can have a whole bunch of stuff going on. You can have a whole bunch of different types. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you still got to realize people are people. So they might be connected to you by blood, but that don't mean they're connected to you with a bond to have a relationship.
Right.
So you can speak and keep it moving, be like, yeah. And if you want to, you acknowledge everybody as your cousin. So if you want to acknowledge, hey, they're my cousins or whatever, then you do so. I mean, what award you get for it, I don't know. But you can still acknowledge them as your cousin.
Right.
Or just speak and keep it moving. You don't have to like
Yeah.
go around, run around, telling everybody, yo, that's my cousin, but they don't talk to me.
Now that I don't agree with. I definitely don't agree with that. And if you're it's cuz see to me that's trying to get people onto your bandwagon and
Yeah.
it's not even that serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I don't talk to you, I don't talk to you.
Right.
I'm not running you down. I'm not trying to get nobody, on the
Mm-hmm.
corral with me. None of that. But
Mm-hmm.
my other question to you is, okay, now if you're a family member and you have kids, so you're not gonna have your kids around you. Okay, now you and I are cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so we cousins, so I'm not gonna have my kids around you. My kids
Well,
can't go to your house or can't play with your kids because you and I don't talk.
how would that be?
I'm just asking you, is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm sure it is a thing because that's a thing with people in general. If they don't talk to you, they don't take their kids around. Now, if their kids are older and able to go on their own, then yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
let them have their relationship. That's because you don't talk, but you don't. And this is my whole thing. Okay, so if you know your kids are older and they cool with your other cousin, you know what I'm saying, but you don't talk to, their mom, which is your cousin as well,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't sit and talk about your cousin who is the mother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
okay, you had the two moms, then you had the children cousins. You as a mother don't sit and talk about your cousin to your kid or to your cousin kid. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You let them have their relationship.
Right.
And
Right.
y'all just don't talk, but you allow them to have their relationship without talking about each other around the kids,
Mm-hmm.
because that can interfere in the kids' relationship. Because you got to think about it. If that's your mom or whatever, and you're going to feel a certain kind of way about your mom. So you don't
Yeah.
want this one talking about your mom, then they don't want that one to talk about their mom. And then they got an issue for no reason. But they was cool, so you allow them to have their relationship, and y'all do whatever y'all want to do with y'all relationship. But if your kid is young and you got to take the kid over there to the other one's house, like I don't know how that will work. I don't talk to you, but I'm gonna bring my kid over there and drop them off.
Yeah, because it still goes back to those kids that have a relationship with each other.
Now that would have to be yeah. Now, if they are old enough, like let's say they about 8 or 9, right?
Mhm.
Where they're old enough where they can call cousin such and say, "Can I come over your house?" And then they say, "Yeah, your mom can bring you over here."
Right.
Then yeah, you take your kid over there. But your kid is over there. Now, if your kid is 4 years old, nah, because that means you had to ask such and such, can you drop your 4 year old? But I don't talk to you though, but can you babysit such and such? Because I'm going down here to the club and they hopping and popping tonight. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Uh-uh. I don't, I don't see that happening because I'd be like, hell no, I'll take them with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
how you gonna pick up your phone and call me and ask, can you drop your kid off for me to babysit or whatever, or to hang out over my house? But you don't even talk to me. You didn't even say, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey cousin A, can I drop Shanique Neek off tonight?
Mhm.
No. So no.
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't think
you.
that's gonna
I
work.
feel you, but I think the relationships still need to be had though, regardless of how old they are. If
Yeah,
if they if they can if they're at the age where they can say that they want to be around each other,
right.
regardless of our differences, then the
Yeah,
kids are gonna do it. Because guess what? The kids will get mad and upset and play with each other, and they back cousins and friends,
yeah.
and we still pissed off at each other.
Right. That's because you're grown. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So you dealing on some other stuff. The kids, they just being kids. They just gonna fuss, fight, and keep it moving. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But now if you drop the kid off over grandma's house and then they drop their kid off over grandma's house and they're 4 years old, and then you come and say, "Oh, mom," because let's say that the grandma, "Oh, grandma, tell such and such I'm taking little Shanique home with me or whatever."
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You should know, although y'all aren't talking, you should know that that cousin isn't going to do anything to little Shanique, and it should be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like no
Right.
big deal. Okay, yeah, because the respect and the love for family is still there.
Still there.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But y'all just not talking for whatever reason.
Is that family or nah? Is that family or nah?
Is that family or not?
Yeah, that's that.
Hmm.
I mean, that's our topic,
Yeah,
family or no.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, whether what I'm saying, because you may not, have relationship with that family member or whatever,
Mhm.
doesn't mean that you're still our family. So,
Right.
um, I think
You
that
family by default. Hmm.
over time, I don't know now I think about it, I don't know if over time the if you don't address certain things in your family will it get better? Because like, some people be like, just leave well enough alone,
Yeah.
it'll be all right, or it'll be, da da da. But I feel like if you don't
Oh.
address it, it's just gonna get worse, especially this day and time.
It could. Well, I don't know. I guess it just depends on what though and why. I think that's the main thing. It depends on what and why. Like why you don't talk or why you don't have issues. Because I have cousins that I don't talk to or don't talk to me. Why? I don't know.
And you don't care.
Mm, no, I don't care because it's like I didn't do anything to you.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So if I did something to you, or if it was a big blow up, or you said something and I went off on you, then I'd be like, oh, you know what? That was my bad. I messed up. But if I
Mhm.
didn't do nothing to you and I don't even know the reason why, and you ain't said the reason why, then no, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those things I'm not gonna go and say, well, why you not talking to me for? What did I do? I'm not doing that. Oh. We too
Yeah.
grown. We too
Yeah.
grown, and I'm
That's
not gonna do that
that's true.
because
That's
that's your
true.
job to come and say, "Hey, you stepped on my
Make me feel a
toe,
certain type of
and
way.
you made
Yeah.
me feel certain that way. You didn't say such and such. Oh,
Mhm.
my bad. I didn't know. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know, but I'm not gonna go to you and say, "Well, why you not talking to me? What did I do to you?" I'm
Right.
not gonna go and do that because that's your job.
Absolutely. So, family or not, that's our episode for tonight. We actually are in season 11. Can y'all believe we about to go into 5 years in April? So that's what, like 5 months from now, and we'll be
Mm.
5 years of us talking to y'all.
Mm.
Mm. Family or
Today we
not,
both said,
right? That's a long
yeah,
time. A lot of conversations.
yeah, that is.
Who know that talk like Shantae the second time? Yeah,
What?
Shantae a little different.
What
Miss
happened?
Gogi a little different. Who you know that talk like that, Shantae? That's the second time.
Who said that?
Katrina. Right.
Girl.
She's like the shade queen. She always trying to throw shade at somebody for something. That's just
Girl.
her. That's the Leo. Um, but yeah, family or not, I just feel like I hope when you guys watch this episode that, what I'm saying, you'll be able to interact with us and let us know how you feel about the episode. And then too, like how it is with you and your family. Because it may be different. Like she and I, what I'm saying, have two totally different families growing up, but the way they grew up and the things that they did.
My family's more conservative.
Hold on, put this camera on her because I'm sick of her for the night. Your family is what?
More conservative. Prim than proper.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, prim and proper is the word is the yeah. I still remember the first show, The Long Table and Phones.
Who said that?
Yes, Katria. Oh my God, girl. Don't make me
Ooh.
cry. The more I think about it, that's why I said the other day, like
Where were we?
in Taisha building.
We were.
Yeah.
See, in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
I thought we was like somewhere in a gym. I
Mm-mm.
don't even remember. I
Mm-mm.
thought we was like in the gym. I thought we were somewhere like real big and we were just sitting there. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. I can't
Yeah,
even
it
look
was.
at
I
it.
can't even look at the
We
first
was leaning
episodes
all
either.
on the table and
Bonnets on, I mean, rags on it. Thank you God for growth. And that's why, like, when you look back at things and you can see from where you've come from, like, it should make you feel good. And that's the same thing like with family. If you started out with your family and what I'm saying, y'all was cool, and then y'all got, what I'm saying, y'all was on a different path, and now it's like, okay, I understand where we at. Like I accept where we at, and there go the respect, and I'm gonna treat you as family, and that's just what it is, and we move forward. So it's just about growth, and yeah. So I don't have any further things to say. Do you Miss Go Getter,
no.
about your prim and proper family?
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, all five of
So
us.
definitely when you see
Well,
when
all
you see this
seven of us.
episode,
Yep.
guys, family, when you see this episode, because I call everybody that come on, wait again a minute, family. That's just, ain't no strangers. You come on, we consider family now. That's what it is. So when you see this episode, hopefully you'll be able to relate. If not, let us know that too. So with
Yeah.
that being
What?
said,
Let them know what if they can't relate.
if they can't
If
relate,
you can't relate, you don't have to let us know.
I
You know,
mean, look,
you don't have to say anything. You just don't
no.
relate.
Well, that's her opinion. My opinion is, if you can't relate to anything that we said, if you disagree with what we said, let me know that too, because
Yeah, if you
that's where
disagree,
dialogue come
okay,
in at.
yeah, you can give me your opinion, but you disagree. Yeah, I get that. But if you can't relate, you don't have to say you can't
No, I'm
relate.
just saying. So with that being said, stay tuned to all things. Wait again a minute.
Good
Good night.
night.